Okay, so let's go to the last part of today, how to use these Blender brush stroke tools. And as I showed earlier, this is what we're going to use. It's a sort of add-on. And let's see if I can find it in Blender. I opened a different file altogether. I'm going to show the example here and then try it out on the dragon afterwards. But it's clearer to do it like this in some ways, just with this basic cube, or I'll create a UV sphere here as well. There. So now there's a sphere and a cube where I want to have something painterly. And I need to go to the preferences. And as you can see here in the basic preferences, I don't see any brush stroke tools. So I need to go to get extensions. And here it should be somewhere. They are not always here. Sometimes you have to find them from the internet, and then there's a certain way of doing things. So let's see, brush stroke tools. There they are. And installing it is as easy as clicking install. And it's one of Blender's own extensions. That's why it's already visible here, by the way. You can see that there are other things here that have to do with paintbrushes. Actually, import paintbrushes. What is this? Parsing several brush formats of painting software. And I'm always curious of what there are. Sculpting using only a pen and keyboard. ZBrush. Almost like ZBrush. Okay, by the way, talking of ZBrush, we used to have a license for ZBrush because I've been expecting somebody to ask about ZBrush. So we still do have ZBrush in the Kuntakoto campus, as far as I know. But so why is this relevant? Because ZBrush is one of the most popular software to use for 3D sculpting. So, and I think you can get a ZBrush student license for not too much money, or maybe even for free. So here is ZBrush. There's also a lot of tutorials on how to learn it. Oh, nice, 441 euros and 57 cents per year for a license. Wow. And is there a student license? Regime, Maxim one. So Maxim is also the home of Cinema 4D, which is well, it's a 3D modeling software, actually. So here, ZBrush doesn't say anything about, let's say, plan details. Doesn't say anything about students. Maybe it's here in try. No, anyway. So if you're very keen to do like high-end sculpting, then maybe ZBrush is your thing. And it might be even, it might cost less on an iPad. these tools usually do. Anyway, let's get back to Blender, and I made the Brushstroke tools now installed, and let's see, they are here now in the add-ons. So all is good in that world. And yeah, I do need the rendered or at least material preview here. And why is it showing so crappy on the material preview? I mean, I don't have much lights on, but still. Talking of lights, make a second one. And in general, let's make things look a little bit nicer before we go into the tools. A bit more light. A bit softer. All right. And maybe a third light still. So we've got a basic 3-point lighting here. Anyway, so that's all window decoration. Let's put this eggish shape somewhere else for now, and I'll concentrate on this one. So it doesn't actually matter what kind of texture I have here, because I'm going to cover it with something else. Just like earlier, I got these new things here by clicking N. I can do that, or I can just click here on this little button, but I usually use N because it's faster. So now I can see the brush stroke tools, and it says no brush stroke context found. So I can either fill it, or I can draw brush strokes there. I'll start with filling. Let's see quite soon what the difference is with these two. So once I have clicked fill, this happens. So we see some sort of brush strokes here, and they are all over the place. And of course, we need to then start editing them, also editing the material and so on. So first of all, I go to material. So it says now use brush color, and this is supposed to be the brush color, but it's not showing it. I'm not sure why this has happened to me before, but when I use brush color away, it will give me here an option to take another color for it. So I'll take it this way and ignore the brush color over here. Okay, then I can put some color variation there even. And let's put a bit of scale there. And of course, now that I have done the material, then I'll go back to the shape of things, the shape of the brush, the shape of the surface, and so on. So surface, there's the offset. How much is it set off from the actual surface? So it might be, as you can see, I can put it very far away from the actual surface, or I can put it inside the cube. Or I can use this trim to mesh, where it should go as closely to the actual mesh as possible. Also by using the shrink wrap. That should do the trick if I actually want it to be really close. And with a dragon, that would be the best solution. Of course, it's very, it doesn't have much stuff now. So let's change the density. Yeah, so a lot of this is like it goes to the like you can figure this out on your own pretty far once you have found this and know what to do with it. Okay, here's the setting the width a little bit bigger, or the length. Extension. We'll put the density down again. Let's see. Now you can see better what it's actually doing. I could scale the brush and again make it like fill the whole surface. Also, I can change the stroke resolution, and there are some pretty nice things I can do with the tilt and flow as well. Random flow, see? So as this is pretty much intensive for the program, that's one reason why I chose to show this to you in this way with just a box. And not with the whole dragon. But I guess you can see my point why this is interesting. You can also animate this whole stuff. So if you have an animation and you have like a character, let's say a dragon flying through the sky, then its coloration could be subtly moving or changing, which will give you a very nice hand-painted feel. So maybe I want to change the color variation a little bit smaller. Let's try at the bump. Okay, I don't think the bump was a good idea. So here in settings, you have the animated strokes. Let's see, what's this deforming surface? No, I don't think I want that. But anyway, I'm not going to tell you everything about this because obviously you can figure it out yourselves. Then what's nice about this also is that these brush elements are like separate things here. Like you see here, if I open up the cube, then because they are separate elements, I could put the cube itself so that it doesn't render at all, and it will only render the brush strokes and nothing else. So you can't see the cube under the brush strokes right now, but if I put the density to a little bit smaller number, or maybe a lot. So here you can see that now there are these gaps, but the cube is still there, but it won't render. So let's try out the other one, like how to paint things. I'll put this away for now. And let's have this eggish shape now come to the foreground. And it, well, I guess I'm giving it a material. Why not? So what if I want to draw on this with the brushstroke tools? Let's try that out. Then I click on draw, and then there are the same things as before, but in this case, I can do things here on the surface. And now it has drawn a kind of, well, thing here. And if I draw more, it should show it as a different brushstroke, but instead it shows it as one. So I guess if I want to have more brushstrokes here, I need to take it here from the duplicates. Okay, so this seems to be one. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. So again, it's not giving me the actual, it does give me the actual brush color now. It does. For some reason now it does give it. Not sure why. Earlier it didn't. So again, I can change the shape of things, or I can put the brush strokes differently with the offset, so that it's not on the actual surface of the egg, but a little bit further away from there. I can change the width. And so on. There are other things that we can do here with the drawing of the brush strokes, but I've noticed that this takes a lot of well, so it's not quite as easy for the computer as the other one. So I haven't actually used it that much. So now I'm changing the curve resolution and so on. So how does this seem to you? As a tool or as an add-on?
I actually want to be looking more on this at some point, but I feel like right now I have my hands full.
Yeah, I understand. But so you can do very strange things here with just these overdraw settings. I'll put the cube on render now. This original cube. And for some reason, it has forgotten that I didn't want to use the brush color. It's strange. So now I change it everything to a green. Also, this other one. Interesting. Anyway, if I wanted to just well, render it, let's see how it would look like, because I haven't done any render today. So here the render engine is right now on Eevee. Let's see the camera view from 0. Well, that's okay-ish. So I'm going to put the render samples pretty high again. Let's put 100 and, well, let's put 250 this time. And what I also what I'm trying to find here is film. And here, when I click on transparent, I haven't shown this to you earlier. So let's say you want to have a PNG image with a transparent background and you want to render it from a Blender and then open it up in Photoshop, for instance. So this is the way you do it in Eevee. You go to Eevee and film in the render settings and then click on transparent. And then, of course, what you click to the output and change that from temp to where you have your other stuff. Change. So check here that the file format is actually PNG, and then you can render it. Render image. And now when I actually save the image, then it should open in Photoshop as with a transparent background. I'm not quite happy with it. With the brushes here, but it can be used maybe somewhere else. So this is a green blob. So that's what I'm going to name it. Yeah, so that was how you render stuff out as PNG as with a transparent background. And that was before that was the Brushstroke tools, and I stop sharing now. Okay, and now I want to make a round unless there's some questions here on Zoom right now.
Something weird happens when I try to render.
Okay, can you describe it or show it?
I can show it. It's hard to describe.
It usually is when it's Blender.
Does it show it?
Yep.
No, but it doesn't show the other one. Oh, I hate using this.
Doesn't
there?
It doesn't show the render. The rendering.
No.
Interesting. Huh. Did you save the UV map?
I don't know.
If you don't know, then you need to go back to the UV map. So close the render image. So go to UV editing, or maybe go to texture paint. Sorry, texture paint.
I can't see because there's this.
Yeah, I know, it's annoying, the zoom thing. Okay, now you see the image. Now you need to go to the left-hand side where it says image, and there's a small, and then save it.
Do I save it to textures, or where do I save it to?
wherever you want it to be. So probably not there in that folder. So it's best to save it where you have your dragon model as well. Okay. And can you show
No.
can you show me if you have like any if you have any modifiers there?
Nope.
Okay, so it should be clean. Okay, then take the camera view. Okay, all should be good here, but although it doesn't show all of the creature, so you can change that by going to N, click N on your keyboard, and then go to View, and then lock camera to view. There's a small, the other one, lock camera to view. Yeah, and now the camera should move while you. So go a little bit further away because now the yeah, it's better. So now we have the whole creature there, and you can take the camera to view lock away. Okay. And now let's see when you render it. Oh, or maybe, yeah, maybe you should have gone first to the render settings and shown those. So the render settings are up, like way up, like go a little bit down, render, yeah. And then now you have put, now it says render 64 and viewport 16, put like a bigger number to the render, like over 100, at least 150 or something. And then you do have lighting there, and that's good. And do you want to have like what I showed you earlier, like a PNG with a transparent background?
I don't care.
Okay, I understand. Okay, then so that should be good. Then go one tab further down, like there's those settings, yes. So yeah, it all looks good. You can change that to JPEG if you want to, but it shouldn't affect the settings in any other way. Okay, then let's then save the file, and let's go back to render. Okay, it seems to be rendering something completely different. So can you go to edit mode for a while? Okay, all seems to be fine here. Is there, oh, now I know, yes. I've done that mistake in your second collection. It's right now, it shows that it's going to, it doesn't show the collection now, but it will show it when rendered. So you need to click on, there's the camera icon. So you need to put the camera icon also away.
Yeah, I clicked it off. Now it works fine.
Now it works. Great.
Yeah, thank you.
And this is typical of 3D. So most of it is often problem solving. And then the problem is like something that makes you feel really stupid. Oh, that happens to me at least. But yeah, most of the problems you don't want to tell anybody anything to anybody. Okay, but I'll do a round now over here.
Tietysti miettiä että jos sulla olisiko joku kautta kyllä voisi laittaa vaikka maisemaan useita niitä. Sitä voi käyttää myöhemmin. It's a selection. So probably is rendering background a lot of data.
Joo, tuossa vaan se, että kun siellä on ne välijutut, niin sitten se ei pärjää. Ja se ei silti jotenkin. Sitä ei kokeilla. Mutta se ei niin.
En ole sitä jotain muuta vastaan. Se idea tässä oli, että tässä jos yntätyhän ne siirretty, jos yntätyhän laajemmin, sitten se olisi aina miten mä teen. Ei jos olisi ollut perussuunnitelma, mutta siitä se olisi 4 sitten läpi. Tai yleistä arjoa.
Mutta se oli joo, tuohon laitettu kaislausta. Osittain se on.
Mikä se olisi konakutti?
No, niitä pitää voimaa.
Minulla on tämmöinen epäämätön tuommoista bioottia. Se nyt on siinä. Varmaan pointti oli, että osaat suhtautua omaa värittään.
Ja on parempiakin on hyvin tietysti. Sitä pintakoa, missä
Okay, in Zoom, do you have any questions? Okay, then I can close Zoom and take out these two last sessions, and now I have time to put them probably first on YouTube and then on Moodle. But tomorrow you have Tuomo, and as you know, Thursday is the strike day for the teachers. So, but the classrooms are reserved for you anyway. Okay, see you later.